Gun confiscation is in progress. Vehicle confiscation is next. I helped stop them in 1995 with the truth and the facts. Like a 15-year plague of locusts, they came back in 2009. Remember cash for clunkers? The government spent $700 million of your tax dollars to take older cars off the road and to render them useless for parts to repair the remaining vehicles. It took vehicles away from low-income citizens and made scrapyard owners rich while doing nothing for the environment. Well, it's 2024 and the locusts are back. Now in state after state, courthouse after courthouse, your Second Amendment rights are under constant attack. And once again, your dear federal government is trying to take away your cars and your choice. My friends and I printed 300 flyers that started the ball rolling. It took 2 years and a reported 10 million copies circulated by concerned citizens nationwide to have an effect. This is that infamous anonymous flyer that stopped them in their tracks. We citizens must band together and once again stop them. It's time to take back our country. Read Understanding How Less is More, the story of the real First Amendment, my new book, which includes Unscrewed Again, an outline for saving your ass, your family, and your country. If you're interested in saving your country, this is the best thing you could possibly do. It will be available on Amazon within the week. Thank you. Brought to you by First Amendment freepress.org. See the website for more videos or visit youtube.com/@lenmarshall426. Thank you. This is real. Photo was taken in July of 2023. Beware. You have been lied to for 30 years. Listen to a mid-level apparatchik, former New Jersey head of the DMV, Dick Kamen, in his own words at the Society of Automotive Engineers meeting in September of 1994. This is an actual audio recording.
The EPA believes that anyone that's in the business of repairing cars is a cheater. They believe you as a customer and a consumer, you're going to cheat, and so therefore we're going to have a system that makes you come to a central system. What will be different about our system now is that there will be registration denial. Right now, if you're a New Jersey driver, we send you your registration renewal, you send it back, and you get the card after having paid your appropriate fee, and then you have a certain amount of time to go and get your car inspected. What will happen under the new system is you'll get notification that your inspection is due. It'll be somewhere between 60 and 90 days in advance. And to go in and get your car inspected for emissions. If you fail, you have a reasonable amount of time to get your car repaired, but then you will not get the registration if you do not come back and pass the emissions test. So you will be denied the registration. That's what's different. It's controlled under the federal government that only can be 3% of the fleet can receive the waiver, and it's also in the regulations that it's up to $450 adjusted for inflation, which since the law was passed and since 1994, for us that's the figure I mentioned before, $519. So once you have spent all that money, then we will give you a waiver and allow you to keep your car for one inspection cycle. And then when you come back the next time, hopefully you'll have more money to pay for the repairs, or the system will no longer be in existence. We're estimating that the cost is going to come in somewhere between $600 and $700 million over a 7-year period. We currently fail cars in New Jersey on emissions at about a 12% rate. This new test that we'll be doing will fail cars fleet-wide at an average of 30%. And if you have an older car, meaning older than 4 years, you'll fail at a 36% rate. These are the figures of the federal EPA, not me. But what that translates into is an awful lot of people that are going to be inconvenienced. But I thought the idea was to try to get people out of their cars into mass transit, plus having a centralized system to some degree here in New Jersey with our 35 inspection stations and some 86 inspection lanes. We already had some experience with how the Republic would respond to what we try to do to them. It seems to be targeting low and moderate income people who buy, certainly if you could afford to drive a newer car, you'd like to be able to do that. And that's a choice that every family budget has to make as to how new your car is going to be. whether you're going to invest in a new refrigerator or a new house or whatever it might be, or upgrade your car this year. We'll have everybody either leasing their car for 2 years or less and not have to worry with inspections, or they'll be driving alternative fuel vehicles. To put it in my assessment of it, only in America could a program like this be designed, because they used to come up with ideas like this in the Soviet Union. Those are being talked about. I mean, federal EPA wants to come and take away your Weber cooker in the backyard. I happen to like the grill, but that's soon to be gone. I'm probably going to be into an electric lawnmower soon. I only have a little quarter acre, and I push around I still mow my own lawn, do those things. So that's soon to be gone. I got 15 years out of my last mower. I'm into 7 years on this one. I give it proper maintenance, but nonetheless, that's not good enough, and it's probably soon to be gone. So they are looking at everything, from coatings to drying agents. Those folks federally already took away your firearms, so that's why they did that first. Now they're going to come after your lawnmower. They are, at least conceptually, exploring the possibility of having a transmitter on the onboard diagnostic system, so that a car simply has to pass a point where the codes can be automatically downloaded and analyzed by the state to see if the car passes or fails. That's the kind of technology that I think will be coming our way soon. Our problem is that in the Midwest, power plants, primarily that produce it with coal-fired power plants, are sending us dirty air. And in fact, if we were to shut down every internal combustion engine in the state of New Jersey, we would still be in violation. We are in an ozone transportation corridor.
There are two ways to go about a solution. We make cars cleaner, and we get people out of their cars.
Unfortunately, the fleet turnover doesn't happen fast enough. If we're to make a real difference, it isn't going to happen tomorrow, unless we get fairly aggressive about what we do. The other part of our identity here is our sense of freedom, in fact, darn car and drive a block to the grocery store, much less drive wherever we want to drive. But cleaning up cars and the roads is only half of the solution. The other half, and in fact, the much more difficult half, involves getting people out of their cars. Growth is the enemy. Somehow we have to be able to change the situation so that people have direct incentives not to drive the car, or conversely, disincentives for driving. Once again, hopefully, this will get people out of their cars. Our other big challenge is providing alternatives to automobiles. So, the question is then, how shall we do that? And it's very, very difficult. We are talking about lifestyle change.
If you don't like what you're seeing, don't like what the government wants you to do, don't like what is being taught in government schools to your children, then get the book and let's get going.